a qualifying match for the All-Star Battle. Introducing your first competitor. He is the Authority, Taurus! He is the Stadium Man, HEARTBREAK JAKE!
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Cory Alexander, aka Just BCA, and because my partner in crime decided he was going to do the disappearing act, I'm left with this pair of clown shoes. I'm sorry, let me not be disrespectful. The general manager of Pro Wrestling Action, Barrister Goodrich. How are we doing?
I'm going to ignore the clown shoes comment because what you're looking at right here is another quality match brought to you by Barrister Goodrich. Focus on the action in the ring.
Speaking of action in the ring, look at these two immense athletes that we have taking place in an exhibition contest right now. You got HEARTBREAK Jake St. Patrick taking on the Authority, Eddie Taurus.
I don't think the people here watching this match realize what exactly is on the line, how important this match is to both competitors.
Well, you are the general manager and you call the shots around here, so what's on the agenda? What's the idea here? What are we looking at?
You serious with that question? What do you think's on the agenda? Everyone's climbing the ladder in Pro Wrestling Action. Everyone wants a shot at the championship. These guys want to climb up the ladder to get their shot. Any other stupid questions?
Not yet. I'm sure a couple will come. Waist lock by Eddie Taurus taking quick control of this match. Jake St. Patrick doing a little hip thrust to get out of it, and he does. Shades of Alex Wright, a dancing fool here in the middle of the ring is Jake St. Patrick, and now some mixing it up of characters of the past. Norman Smiley, the big wiggle.
So, speaking of Alex Wright, here's a question for you. Has anyone ever accused you of being a wonderkind?
No, but they did say I look like Boris because I am bald.
It's fair point. Now let me ask you, it's a hot Saturday night, you're ready to hit the town. Are you going to dress in the HEARTBREAK Jake gear, or are you more an Eddie Taurus black kind of guy?
I am a man in black, but I do hear that dressing like HEARTBREAK Jake gets you the ladies, if you will.
That's what I hear. What is Jake doing right now? What is going through his mind right now?
This is airing out the boys. I have no idea. And speaking of boys, you got Eddie Taurus up here taking direction from his manager, the wrestling doctor, Dr. Eric Christopher.
Well, the thing about Dr. Eric Christopher, and believe me, I've had my share of run-ins with him over the past couple years, he's 2, 3, 4, 10 steps ahead of everyone else. No one can compete with where his mind's at.
Well, Dr. Eric Christopher and myself always talk strategy over endurance, and he is one of the most strategic men in professional wrestling, a very smart individual. He is by the side and at the helm of the Authority, Eddie Taurus.
So I'm not one to compliment HEARTBREAK Jake, but I'll tell you right now, smart, he's taking his time. There's no official timeout in wrestling, but you can go, you've got the 10 count outside.
You got to maximize your minutes, and you can do a lot in 9 seconds as long as you make it back by 10. Right here is a good showcase of maximizing your minutes. You got a wrist lock by Eddie Taurus. Flip around by Jake St. Patrick. Eddie Taurus in control here, got that wrist lock locked in. Jake St. Patrick breaks the hold by getting his feet on the bottom rope.
But once again, Jake going to the outside, and you got to wonder, is this part of his game plan? Is he really needing the timeout, or is he just messing with the head of Eddie Taurus?
I don't know. Time will tell. Strategy plays a big focus here. I know that Eddie Taurus is one of those kind of people who likes to get into the ring, get business taken care of, cash his check, and go home. Jake St. Patrick is not here to play either, so...
You got to wonder, though. Got to wonder how big of a factor. I see Jake's wearing a bow tie. That's got to be a little difficult to wrestle on that. It has to cut off the circulation. How big of a factor is the bow tie going to play in this match?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't think it's going to play much of a factor because if you look at the size difference between both individuals right now, Jake St. Patrick is obviously smaller. He has the cardio.
Yep.
There you go. The cardio factor on his side. Jake St. But Eddie Torres has the
power.
strength and the power. Up! Speed!
Unbelievable.
Endurance, agility!
Unbelievable.
The ladies' man has spoken. Splash into the corner, caught by Eddie Torres. What's Eddie gonna do here? Tosses him like a rag doll. Size advantage.
That's exactly what you were talking about just a few moments ago. You actually made a good point for once. The strength of Eddie Torres, you just cannot compete with the strength and the experience of Eddie Torres.
There's a reason why he chose the name Taurus. It's because he's built like a bull. He is ready to charge. He's ready to use his size to his advantage. He is ready to take control. But he has Dr. Eric Christopher on the outside looking after him, as you can see. Eddie taking a moment to glorify himself in the spotlight, going quickly to stomp the face of Heartbreak Jake.
I can't help but notice that the good doctor doesn't stop talking. He's talking the whole time he's out there. Right now, he's taunting Jake. Earlier, it seemed like he was feeding some instructions to Eddie Torres. He never stops working.
Well, you're right. He does not stop talking, and I'll tell you right now, he's very good at it.
Tell you who's also really good, Eddie Torres with that knife edge right there. Unbelievable power.
Eddie Torres with the chop in the corner. Heartbreak Jake might walk out of here tonight with a chest that looks like hamburger meat. Ground chuck, 2% fat.
Heartbreak Jake should take the bow tie off. I'm telling you, you get those chops and you got the tie on, that's gonna take a toll on a man.
Absolutely. I think if he took the bow tie off, he might be able to get a little bit more oxygen into the lungs, which might strategically help him here.
Jake trying to get something going here.
Phenomenal forearm off the top rope.
Yeah.
St. Patrick back in control. Now he's dancing again, singing too much
See, this is the problem. I'm a fan of entertainment. I'm a fan of giving the people what they want. The dancing. Stop playing to these idiot fans, Jake. Do what you got to get done in the ring.
To be fair, Mr. Goodrich, these quote-unquote idiot fans, as you say, pay good money to come and see the action at this company, which you are the general manager of. So if they don't pay, you don't get paid either.
I want the people to come. I want their hard-earned, I want their support. But in terms of Jake, you want to win the match, you want to climb the ladder, do what you got to do. Focus on the action.
Absolutely. I think we're in agreement there, for once.
Again, right now with the dancing.
A little bit of showboating. Never hurt nobody, but it also never worked in anybody's favor.
You don't get paid by the minute here, you get paid by the win. Jake's taking time to dance instead of taking time to inflict damage on the authority.
Suplex into a swinging neck breaker. What are we going to do here? Eddie Torres being smart. Pushing St. Patrick into the corner.
I gotta say, I think both men are ripe for the pickings right now.
Oh my God, look at the sheer size and strength.
Unbelievable.
Eddie Torres caught Heartbreak in mid-air and went for a power slam. Still only warrants a 2 count. Heartbreak Jake still in this thing.
I'll tell you, there's almost a stunned silence over the crowd right now over what they're seeing. What Torres just pulled off, unbelievable power.
Stunned silence is a good set of words. When you see something this amazing, this kind of action, no pun intended by pro wrestling action, there's all kinds of emotions that get elicited here inside the center at Deltona.
What Jake needs to do now, again, I'm going to say this again, he's got to stop worrying about the people. He's got to stop worrying about the bow tie and the dancing and what he looks like, how good his hair looks like. He's desperately fighting here for survival.
Do you think that Heartbreak Jake would stand a better chance at survival if he had somebody in his corner, like a manager or somebody giving him advice, telling him not to showboat so much?
I see where you're going, and it's very flattering, but I'm just not thinking about taking on a client right now. I'm focused on running pro wrestling action. But of course, if I were to manage, say, Heartbreak Jake, there's no doubt he'd be the champion.
I think he'd be a fantastic client. He could definitely bring in a lot of money, a lot of fans.
A lot of women.
Call them idiots.
I never said that.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Heartbreak Jake. And a jumping reverse neck breaker. Fantastic and flawless execution.
Both men struggling to get to their feet. This is a race to see who gets to their feet.
Oh! Holy!
Unbelievable. Just when you think you've got the authority, Pete.
The Harlem Hangover style neck breaker.
Nope.
I thought he was going to take out the authority, but I was wrong. This match continues.
Right now, we're in a make it or break it situation for Jake. No.
Heartbreak Jake went for
What's
the
he gonna
springboard
do?
and then
This has to be it. This has to be it.
cut. Nope.
Unbelievable.
Not enough to put away Heartbreak.
Unbelievable. You know, every single week at the official Pro Wrestling Action offices, my inbox gets flooded. Thousands of emails, thousands of letters coming in. People want to know, where do we find these athletes? The question is, they find us. They come to me, they want to be part of our shows, they want to be part of these events.
If you've ever seen a Pro Wrestling Action show, whether it be live in person or on YouTube, there's not a lot of room, so you got to get in where you fit in. Jake St. Patrick taking control here.
Jake once again going. I'm thinking he's going to the top, but this.
He's doing the showboating again. You and I might agree on something.
Yeah.
This needs to stop.
Yeah.
Oh wait!
Look at this.
So close to punching Dr. Eric in the face. Springboard, no!
Eddie, one step ahead.
Oh, turned inside out with the lariat. The authority's got him up and a sit-down powerbomb.
And you heard the good doctor.
And that's three. Heartbreak Jake faces Heartbreak.
And one. Eddie Torres taking one more step. We talked about it at the onset of this match. Every match so important. One more notch in the belt for Eddie Torres. One more victory on his way to the gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Cory Alexander.
And I'm Jay Barrister Goodrich.
And I wish I could say it was a pleasure, but to be honest, it wasn't as bad as I anticipated it to be. You're all right. Maybe I'll talk to you in the back. We can discuss a little bit of business about All-Star Battle. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Torres takes on the W. We'll be right back with more Pro Wrestling Action. Ladies and gentlemen, towards the end of this match, we were interrupted by Nick Turner, the former Pro Wrestling Action Voltage champion.
I'll tell you, I bet Jake's not thinking about dancing right now, is he?
But did you see the look that Nick Turner gave to Dr. Eric and the authority on the ramp there? It's almost like, are they in cahoots with each other?
I didn't see that. All I saw right now is Nick Turner is taking advantage of his moment. That's what you call making a statement in Pro Wrestling Action. Right there.
Nick Turner has a point to make. I think he just made it, and now he's about to put the exclamation point. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to what Nick Turner has to say.
Oh, did you think that I was done? What? I have only just gotten started. Now all of you mark my words. An all-star battle. The Desperado will win gold. Whether it's my Voltage Championship or the All-Star Championship, it doesn't make a damn bit of difference to me because they are mine for the taking. No one is going to stand in my way because I am the law in this town. And no one is above the law.